Hey IWC, it's Ringside Renaissance here. Come get in. It's a toasty 69 degrees. And we just hit 5K subscribers. And it's no secret to anybody, we aren't gonna shy away from a fight. And if you come at us, we gonna start swinging. So Jesse, do the honors. Ring the bell.
You are now listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
We're back for another episode of Ringside Renaissance, and we're here with the RRW Weekly Review for WWE. Club Fed, baby. Yeah, and I'm here with the best co-host in the world, Pretty Deadly Jesse. Yeah, and I'm Andrew Kombat Jones. Yeah, Ringside Renaissance. We're back. Another week. What's going on, Jesse?
Ooh, I'll tell you what's going on. WWE is hot right now. I was really concerned that WWE was going to kind of fall off after Survivor Series leading up to the Royal Rumble. But we got Saturday night's main event coming up this weekend. We had a great NXT deadline last weekend. We had a power-packed show of Smackdown and Raw. NXT, who's going to be challenging for the NXT men's and women's title. That got decided after deadline. Beautiful time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oof.
Like you said, Saturday night main event coming up.
Ooh.
Retro, baby.
Jesse
Retro.
the Body Ventura on the call.
Ooh, bring it back. That's what we like to see. The man of the people.
If he starts bringing up the New Jersey lights, bro, I'm going to...
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's got the platform to do it.
He's got the platform. We want to know what's in the sky. We need to know.
If you're from Jersey, let us know. What are you seeing?
Yeah, you got the inside scoop. Yeah.
What is going on, man? What a beautiful time to be alive. We got so much good pro wrestling, and WWE's hot right now. AEW's not right now. We still watch and cover it all, but boy, oh boy, the thing that you and I are biggest about, like I said, are these crazy lights going on. Everything that's been happening in the past in the media with this UAP phenomenon, beautiful thing. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about some pro wrestling. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. How about that? We spoke on Saturday night main event, and we got that little promo teaser from Triple H and Cody Rhodes opening that case that we heard was going to be used for one night only. And people are believing that it's the Winged Eagle WWFE Championship.
I'm a little concerned about this, though, because that's the same case that they carried the Crown Jewel Championship with.
Oh, so, Lord.
What if he came out with that and just, they swerved everybody?
Oh, yeah. The Saudis said, they sent it over. We'll let you use it for one night. You can show it on NBC. So, yeah, I think the show is going to be also on NBC on regular television, too.
Yeah.
From what I see. So that's really cool. I like that. It's going to get more exposure, on a Saturday night, too, and not just going to have to go to Peacock. And from what I hear, it's not considered a PLE either.
Yeah. And they got another one coming up in January, I believe. This is to bridge the gap because I think our next PLE is the Royal Rumble. So I think these are just kind of some weekend events to kind of bridge the gap and keep people interested. I'm interested.
Yeah. You got to think if they are a success that they will maybe do more of them, right?
I would think so. I mean,
I thought it depends, right? I don't know. I think it's also very interesting with the Saturday night main event thing, and we, kind of spoke on how AEW is doing. And when we had got when Collision first started, they had said CM Punk kind of had somewhat creative control of that show, right? And they kind of based it somewhat off Saturday night main event type of programming, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the way that they did like the intros, outros, and like the pre promos at the beginning. So is this them taking another shot, subtle shot, and throwing it back at them, even though they are the originators of it, of course. But
I don't know about throwing it back because I don't consider WWE to be the bottom in this situation. It'd probably be the AEW, so they'd be the ones
that's
throwing
true.
it back. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting, man. I don't know the obviously they got the deal with Peacock, so NBC is obviously part of that. And
Right.
I'm interested because we were talking to some people across the pond, and they don't have like Peacock or anything like that. They don't.
Oh,
They get their PLEs through a different streaming. I believe it was. They still had the WWE Network or something like that. So
yep.
I wonder if Saturday Night Main Event is going to take place on that. I know when going over to Netflix, I believe the PLEs are going to be on Netflix. So, or maybe not.
Really?
I'm not exactly sure. Eventually. So I don't know.
Yeah. When the Peacock contract is up, I think that I don't know if it's been officially announced, but you would think that they're going to move it over to Netflix.
Yeah, I think it's in 2026. I believe their deal with Peacock is up.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I think the cards I think there's only 4 matches announced, or maybe only be 4 matches, but
right.
I think it's going to be a fun little time, just a little, nothing major or something to get too hyped about. I don't foresee any like titles changing or anything like that.
Yeah, I seen one person said that they think every title will change hands.
Nah.
I
I don't think it will because especially not the Cody title because of it being the Winged Eagle and everything else. I think that's kind of now set in stone. Cody's going to retain that, but we can get into that, but we have to get into SmackDown first to kind of get to Saturday Night Main Event. And SmackDown took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I did remember that now because it started out with Cody Rhodes coming out to the ring and asking everybody what they wanted to talk about, and I'll tell you who wanted to talk to him was the Alpha, Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Boy, he came out.
Chad Gable got a little bit of a pop coming out.
Hometown hero.
Yeah. Didn't last long. But then we kind of got Cody being a little condescending too on Chad Gable, trying to come down to his level too a little bit and show some similarities between the two and bring up Stardust. Yeah.
He's like, you were Shorty G, I was Stardust. And that got a pop too from the crowd.
Yeah. Don't you ever call me Shorty G ever again.
So this all kind of encompassed with, they were talking about having like a transfer portal that was going to be opening up between brands, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, which is kind of funny. It feeds all into like the draft. We have the draft every year. That's like a college football or college sports type thing. And now the transfer portal is becoming a college sports thing, and American sports anyway.
They call it the transfer portal. We call it the WWE Stargate.
Yes. Good call. But this is what kind of teased that, because Chad Gable obviously is from WWE Raw, and he came over to SmackDown, and for no reason, just to get in Cody's face, and Cody was like, I'll make you famous. Let's fight later on, and let's see who's got the bigger goat. I think was Shorty G something maybe Vince McMahon saw Chad Gable in the shower, and with all the other stuff coming out about VKM, maybe that was more of a shot than we originally intended it to be.
Vince may have went both ways with it, and may not discriminated in the showers, and took advantage of all the talent in any way he could. Who knows?
Could you imagine him doing the Vince McMahon walk into the shower?
He may have been playing some Jay-Z songs at the same time. It might have been the best of both worlds, Jay-Z and R. Kelly. Yeah.
Jesus.
Innocent until proven guilty. was the soundtrack. Yeah. Now it's half true. Yeah. Ether, baby. We don't forget shit. Yeah.
That's it.
We've been riding since day one.
Oh, what a good callback. Yeah, so we had it announced that later on in the night Cody Rhodes would fight Chad Gable in the main event, non-title match. They brought up their amateur wrestling backgrounds and, like you said, a lot of their similarities and stuff. It was really cool to kind of see Chad Gable sort of get some main event light. I don't think anybody in their right mind thought Chad Gable had a chance in hell with this, but still interesting nonetheless. Then we had Nick Aldis backstage with Mello, and they were talking about like the transfer window and the shakeup, and Mello was upset that Chad Gable could just come over and challenge Cody Rhodes, and Mello was, kind of talking about how he's kind of been a presence on SmackDown since being drafted.
Yeah.
And Nick Aldis said, I got a match for you next week against somebody, or one of my top guys or top prospects or something like that he said. And a lot of people on the internet are abuzz thinking that this is going to be Pentagon Jr.
That's why I wanted to ask you about, because I had saw the reports that said he had officially signed. I don't know if that's completely true, because I don't know if WWE has released that or commented on that, if that's official from them, but we saw it all other places. And then, of course, we've seen what's been going on with Rey Fenix. So,
yeah. I don't think so. I think it's Drew McIntyre. And I'll talk about that later with Raw, but I think Drew McIntyre is transferring over to SmackDown.
Right.
I think his feud with Punk is concluded.
Yeah.
I think that they can't be on the same brand without crossing paths and having more of that animosity. So I think that separating them is probably a good idea. And there's other factors involved. Well, him attacking Sammy last week and potentially attacking Jay.
Right.
They're part of the Bloodline storyline over on SmackDown. So
why not put him over against Roman, maybe, since the Bloodline's kind of out of commission. The Bloodline 2.0 is kind of, hurt, right?
Yeah, because he mentioned on Raw as well about how he was sitting at home and he saw the Bloodline side with the tyrant CM Punk, and how he was upset about that, and he saw Roman and Punk shaking hands. So I think it's a lot deeper than him just coming back and attacking Sammy. I think this is really building up, like you said, to Drew transferring over and then having a feud with Roman Reigns to kind of simmer down the Bloodline storyline till at least the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, you would assume so. If he's going after Sammy, he's going after Jay, and Roman really cares about them, you would think that he's going to stand up for them too, right? And you would think that would be the kind of the next move up from them. So, which I think would be cool. It's been a while since we've seen Roman and Drew McIntyre.
And it would be a way to introduce Drew over to SmackDown with this transfer window thing, to fight somebody like Mello, get a strong win.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on it. It might be Pentagon. It might just be, a lot of people were saying Trick Williams, but Trick's still the NXT champion. So that doesn't really make sense.
Well, if it's Mello, he has been missing a lot lately. So he might have to we'll see. It's interesting.
Had him by his neck like Mello. Oh.
Yeah.
Bar. Tiffany Stratton moved on in the United States women's tournament.
Yep, in her hometown with a big pop.
In her hometown. Yep. I think once the Intercontinental and US women's title tournaments kind of dwindled down to a couple people, which it kind of is now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be more invested in it.
Definitely. Yep.
I'm excited to see who's going to be the first champion. I don't think it's going to be Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, we won't see that because she's still the Money in the Bank too. So what would be the point unless she's going to cash in for that title, which is just, no, let's not do it.
Please don't do it, Triple H.
Let's not do it. Yeah, I mean, even talking about like Nia Jax, she's a SmackDown champion, right? And I had read a report talking about how, Liv has been carrying Raw. or whatever. She's been at least defending and been part of the stories and had a big part. Nia Jax been the champion. What has she really done? Not much, right? The story isn't very compelling around her.
Mm-hmm.
More of the story has been greater around like Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Iyo Sky, all that type of stuff, right? With SmackDown. And that that Nia Jax is protected more or less in WWE and SmackDown because she is related to The Rock. And that's why she gets a push when normally people think that she wouldn't be getting this type of exposure. I don't know if that's true, but it's an interesting concept that I was reading into online down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I've read a lot of that too.
Yeah.
And I'm not really a big fan of Nia Jax. I know you're not really that big of a fan of her either.
Right.
But I can't deny that she's not a presence. Like when she's on the TV, when she's on the screen, when she's in these title matches, she's like a dominant force presence that I feel like the women's division kind of needs. Like they have like the Bronson Reeds or like the big monsters, Obafemi over on NXT.
Yeah.
But like in the women's division, they don't have. I mean, Rhea Ripley maybe, but
yeah. And to be fair, she is the heel, and to be fair, I think she has gotten better.
Yeah,
somewhat. And she got the bonsai drop or whatever you want to call it. The
Annihilator,
the Annihilator, Annihilator. Yeah. So she's held it down, and she's holding that place kind of to build that story with Tiffany to take the title soon, hopefully at some point.
It's got to be right. It's got to be Nia that Tiffany takes the title from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything they did leading up to it for like Nia to like maybe convince her to go after the women's US title. She loses, then in the finals the person wins the inaugural women's US title and she comes and cashes in. Like I don't.
Right. Unless they plan on going full tilt heel with Tiffany and keeping her like as heel or whatever, and Nia loses it to a babyface, and then Tiffany swoops in and does some more backstab and stuff. But I feel like it's probably time to to let Tiffany just roll and play the other role. Yeah,
I agree with that.
But the tournament, it's
I'm not a big fan of tournaments. I mean, King of the Ring or something where it's like that's like the thing of it. But you brought up the whole Jade Cargill storyline, and we had Bianca Belair backstage, and Piper Niven and Chelsea Green came up to her, and Bianca accused Chelsea Green and Piper Niven of attacking Jade.
Yeah, and so we've been kind of reading into that and trying to predict who that was, and coming off of that, we were going in thinking it was probably Piper Niven or it had something to do with Chelsea Green, but I don't think it's Piper Niven after seeing that. I really don't. I think they could have owned up to it or said something more, and I thought they played it off very well. So if it is her, bravo. But just reading that situation, I don't think it's Piper Niven.
Yeah, and Piper Niven told her it wasn't me.
Yeah,
I was backstage the whole time. I didn't see nothing. Well, it didn't happen. But I'll fight you in the ring.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whodunit story continues, and it's really interesting because they had one of these on Raw with Jey Uso. They had one of these on SmackDown with Bianca Belair, and then one on NXT with his name escapes me, Ethan Thorpe or whatever.
Yep. Ethan
so
Thorpe,
it was interesting. They kind of went across platforms.
There's 3 scenarios, I feel, with these women.
Okay.
That it has to be. It's either somebody brand new that we don't know that's coming in, somebody that's been out that's going to be coming back, or Naomi.
Oh, those okay. He dropped the bomb.
I guess I must have been right.
Oh, you got ghosts over there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting though that you said that with somebody new, somebody returning, or Naomi. You don't think it's anybody else. This is who I think it is. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
Ready? Drop that bomb button. Ready?
Yep.
Brandy Rhodes.
think so.
We never got that finality. Back in AEW, it was Brandy Rhodes and Jade Cargill facing off. Then Brandy became pregnant, so Red Velvet came in.
Okay.
We never got that match.
But I mean, it makes sense, but it just doesn't make sense to me with Cody because he's because you're gonna have a heel Cody or a heel Brandy Rhodes and a babyface Cody on the same brand.
We had it with the Nightmare Collective. When
I guess so.
Everybody's hair.
Yeah.
Time will tell. I really don't know. It is kind of interesting. I'm leaning more towards they're going to go and say it was Bianca, which doesn't really make any sense. And she even said that in her backstage thing with Piper Niven. But
right,
I'm really hoping it doesn't do that. And I hope she comes back sooner. They don't have to vacate the titles. That would kind of be a shitty.
The thing is, if it was Bianca, you could just have like Jade post online, like, I know who attacked me. It was Bianca.
Yeah.
Well, she could have posted who it's been this whole time, I guess, from her hospital bed or whatever.
I think that Naomi is a good thought just because I can see Jade not being there and Naomi being like, oh, I can defend the titles with you until she gets back.
Yes.
And then have Jade come back and be like, it was you, Naomi.
Yeah.
It was you the whole time.
Yeah. I think they like the little interaction and like the little things Naomi was saying when they were kind of having that powwow. It was a little suspect. Her reactions and like her little comments. Yeah. So, but I don't know.
I think her eyelashes are a little suspect.
I've never been right, so well, you know. Yeah.
We had Shinsuke Nakamura come out to the ring, the new U.S. champion, and like he was going to cut a promo or something, and then
LA Knight came out. Well, LA Knight came out first, I believe, right?
No, Nakamura came out in the ring. And then LA Knight came out to confront him.
That's correct. Yes. Interrupted his little... Yeah.
Yeah, told him, I'm going to knock you back to factory settings. Yeah. Came into the ring to confront Shinsuke Nakamura, but this got shut down real quick, and we had the Bloodline, the members that are left anyway, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga, come in and just lay waste to LA Knight.
And clean house, yeah. And Nakamura had that the mist again in his mouth. He obviously doesn't swallow. Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of?
Spit it out.
I want to turn me down. I want to bring you out. Yeah. You know what it reminded me of is back in the day when Gene Simmons used to do the bass guitar solos and he had the blood dripping. That's what it reminded me of. I was laughing when I saw it. I said, oh, great.
Yeah. So they had a little standoff and I wonder how that's going to play in. If that's, I would assume they're not going to be beefing with Shinsuke if he's heel, and that's,
no.
I don't understand if that, or if LA Knight's going to have anything to do with them now, or if that was just a one-off just to get the microphone and the.
I think that LA Knight's going to kind of feud with them a little bit because what I said earlier about Drew McIntyre with Roman, I think that they're going to try to keep the OG bloodline, the bloodline kind of just simmering for a little bit.
Now. Yeah.
But yeah, Solo Sikoa said we're still standing, and I still have the Ula follow.
Yep.
And he is still your tribal chief, even though they lost at War Games.
Yep.
And then we had the Motor City Machine Guns were supposed to put their tag titles on the line against the Street Profits, but then they showed backstage that the Street Profits got taken out, and Nick Aldis had no clue, another whodunit. And oh, you're not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, where's the backstage cameras when you need them?
Yeah, right.
Even Tony Khan was able to FOIA the request in another country of the backstage cameras.
Tony Khan got a Dopser on the Wembley cameras.
These arenas don't have like cameras in their loading docks and everything. Come on. Yeah.
Pro wrestling, man. That's just like when people interfere with a match. The referees all have earpieces now from somebody in the back, and everybody knows about it. It's a known thing. So, like, why can't someone from the back be like, hey, so we just interfered?
Turn around.
Or even worse yet, I love like tournaments where it's like everybody's barred from ringside. Why isn't everybody barred from ringside every single match?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that just solve a lot of problems in pro wrestling?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had Nick Aldis trying to figure it out, and Johnny Gargano was there and said, "Hey, we'll step in.
Yeah.
We'll fight for the tag titles."
Yeah. What a coincidence.
Yeah. So the Motor City Machine Guns came out versus DIY for the WWE tag team titles, and
yeah, DIY decided to play their dirty games, and Gargano gave in to his dark side, and was yeah, that's it.
Sad.
Ciampa got the better of him.
It's a sad state of affairs because, you know, as beloved as DIY are by the WWE universe, and like it just was heartbreaking, heart-wrenching to see them turn heel. And I mean, Johnny Gargano's been a lifelong friend of the Motor City Machine Guns. Why would he do something like this? I'm not okay with it.
Right.
It took me a few days to process it. That's why this took a few days for this video to come out, because I've just been a depressed mess since this happened. To see somebody like turn on their friend like this, it's just happening too much in professional wrestling. Kevin Owens with Cody Rhodes, and now Gargano, and I'm not going to stand for it. And I'm going to put out a petition right now that says hashtag justice for MCMG. The Motor City Machine Guns need a rematch where the tides are turned and the sides are fair, because this is just a grave injustice.
Yeah, they're going to be one of the quickest ones to come in and be a 2-time tag team champion very, very soon.
They're going to have more title reigns than they have had promos at some point.
That ain't hard at this point for them. Shit.
I can't wait until the Lucha Brothers come to WWE and like them and Motor City Machine Guns have a feud or something.
Yeah.
That's going to be ridiculously good. The main event of SmackDown was Chad Gable against Cody Rhodes, like you said, hometown hero. They did some amateur wrestling in here, which was really cool because of their amateur backgrounds. They did both their kind of styles. Again, I didn't think anybody in this world thought that Chad Gable was going to beat Cody Rhodes.
No. And Cody's kind of been on a tear lately because he's, you want to fight me? And I'm still thinking about Kevin Owens? I'm going to picture Kevin Owens on your body, and I'm going to do really bad things to it.
It's close enough.
And you wear a leotard.
Yeah. You got the message there. The wording was maybe a little bit paraphrased a little bit, but I'm gonna imagine Kevin Owens coming on your body, and then I'm gonna do dirty, nasty things to it.
Yep. So we can't, talk about that match and the ending of SmackDown without talking about the promo that Kevin Owens was supposed to have a sit down with Michael Cole backstage, but in new fashion of how Kevin Owens likes to have his promos and his conversations, he invited Michael Cole to come into his toasty 68-degree comfort controlled rent-a-car for a little conversation, and I thought he dropped the gem on him, if you will, and dropped some facts and dropped the truth on Michael Cole. And Michael Cole is the delusional one in this situation, I think. Kevin Owens presented more facts, more details, and that his best friend has betrayed him. And couldn't agree more. I don't want to keep, beating the fact.
There you go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Beating the drum.
Beating the drum. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Yeah,
that's right. I'm on the exact opposite end of the spectrum.
I don't want to beat a dead horse over.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Redemption angle. I've been a coal miner for a long time, and the way this is just completely unjust and uncalled for, the way Kevin Owens just verbally assaulted Michael. Michael Cole is a commentator. He's not a professional wrestler. He's not an athlete. And the way Kevin Owens tried to intimidate him by, first of all, bringing him out in the parking lot to kind of bring him into his atmosphere, I think it was completely uncalled for. Kevin Owens was Michael Cole was completely justified by saying, Kevin Owens, this is your fault. This is on you. You were the one. Like, look at all the steps that we got to this point, and you need to take responsibility for your actions because you were the one that's being a child here. And Kevin Owens didn't like that very much, and then followed it up with a childlike behavior. Telling Michael Cole, get the hell out of my car. when he finally hears the things that he doesn't want to hear, now the conversation's over. He can't rebuttal. He can't come back. He had a 3-page pre-planned promo that he was going to say to Michael Cole. But as soon as Michael Cole hit him with some facts, now all of a sudden Kevin Owens, he doesn't want to be a part of the conversation anymore. I got to go home in my rent-a-car. Nah.
I think you're looking at it a little wrong because it is Minneapolis, Minnesota, and it is December, and it is the winter time, and probably very cold in those garages. And he invited Michael Cole into a comfort-controlled, temperature-safe place to have a conversation and talk about Cody Rhodes. And Michael Cole was being very disrespectful and telling him he's delusional and he doesn't know what he's talking about and he needs to listen. And Michael Cole maybe just needs to stay in his lane.
Wow.
Yeah. And Michael Cole just kept trying to push this false narrative and control the narrative that Kevin is bad and Kevin is not right. So like anybody would do, I said, Michael Cole, get the hell out of my car. And then when he gets out, hey, Mike, what? No, I'm going to close the door. I'm going to close the window on your ass. Bye.
Childish.
Bye, Felicia.
You got to look at it this way. Michael Cole, right? He is the voice of the WWE. Shout out Pat McAfee, right? So
yeah,
to verbally berate him like this and then back down, like I said, when the odds weren't in his favor anymore, he was in danger of being out-talked by Michael Cole. And he knew that. And he knew that. And he couldn't be made to look any more of a fool than he's already made himself out to look. So at this point, he had to cut his losses, say, get out of my car. And then childishly just roll, hey, Michael, and then roll up the window in his face. What are we, 15?
That was beautiful. Beautiful. That's how you handle a situation right there, ladies and gentlemen.
I won't stand for it.
Well,
I won't stand for it. I'm very disappointed in Kevin Owens. I thought better of him. Yeah. I've been a fan of Kevin Owens for a long time, and this is just, I don't think there's any coming back from this. I think that.
I just hope he's able to shut Cody Rhodes up and teach him a lesson in friendship for once in a while and take that Winged Eagle title on Saturday night main event.
Well, he did attempt to shut down Cody Rhodes after this Chad Gable match because, now he's going to attack Cody Rhodes with a bum wheel because Cody Rhodes got his ankle attacked during the match. Now Kevin Owens took his opportunity to strike when Cody Rhodes wasn't 100%. Wasn't 100% when this was his thing back when they feuded way back. Oh, I can't go after Cody if he's not 100%. Now all of a sudden he's going to take this tactic.
Well, that was before Cody really betrayed him. Teaming with Roman Reigns and all that. And, Cody went below the belt, and it's nothing but fair that Kevin Owens goes after that hurt ankle of Cody for a little bit of payback.
Well, he didn't get much payback because Cody Rhodes ended up on top in this situation. Ugh. And you're talking about him going below the belt. I'm talking about him being on top because it just Kevin Owens is not going to come out with on top the victor, and I'll tell you why. You can't cut corners.
Merchandise sales.
I wasn't going to go there. You can't cut corners and end up on top. It just doesn't work this way. And Kevin Owens is taking the cheap way out. He
Right.
had his opportunity. Cody Rhodes gave him a golden opportunity. He couldn't deliver. Now all of a sudden he wants to try to cheat to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like other people in the podcast world. Sometimes you just can't cut corners. You got to grind it out like Ringside Renaissance does, you know?
Yeah.
We've been going strong.
Oh, we have to plan something for our year anniversary. That's going to be great.
That's true. Yeah, we're coming up at the end of the year here too.
Right? Maybe we'll have a special guest on.
Yeah.
But that was WWE Smackdown leading up. We have one more Smackdown before Saturday night's main event. It'll be tomorrow as of this recording. And I don't know. We'll see what happens on it. I think there's going to be a little bit more of the shake-up with this transfer window, like we talked about. Yeah, interested to see what's going on moving forward. I don't think anything groundbreaking is going to happen until after Saturday night's main event. So,
right.
I think this Friday is going to be filler leading up to that. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What's going to happen now is we're going to take a stroll down. Wait, I lost it. Just play the music. We're going to go to Raw.
Play the music. Yeah.
We have made it to Monday Night Raw. Beautiful Monday Night Raw in a city I do not know where they were from. And
yeah,
the Raw started out hot with the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther coming out to the ring to a surprising pop from the crowd.
Yes.
I think Gunther is really just starting to win them over with what he does and how he does it. And I'm really happy to see that. Big fan of Gunther.
Yep. Coming off, the Judgment Day stuff. So he's definitely over than the Judgment Day on the Judgment Day, as far as, having the crowd approval from last week with getting the coup de grace from Finn in the front and the back. Must have been a sore week for him.
And it's interesting because he's doing kind of like what Stone Cold did back in the 90s. He's not changing up anything he's doing. He's still being the ring general Gunther, and people are just kind of trying to gravitate to that, I believe.
Right.
And we got interrupted by Finn Balor in the Judgment Day, who came out and this was interesting because so afterwards we figure it out, but Finn Balor and the Judgment Day were in kind of talking trash
trying to talk some trash,
trying to talk some street trash and failing, and Gunther was just kind of putting them in their place and you're right, you are Universal Champion for one day, and
matter of fact, a few hours for like I
don't know why I made Gunther Irish there. But so Gunther's just spitting facts at him, bro, and just letting him know, like, this is where it's at, this is where you are, and this is where I am. You're not on my level, And then we had Damian Priest come out and try to exact revenge on the Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day beat down Gunther and then beat down Damian Priest.
Yeah, and Gunther was beating down Damian Priest too. It kind of got a little interesting for a second because
Damian Priest came out
in the lines. Yeah.
You're right. Damian Priest came out and cleared house, and then Gunther took it to Damian Priest.
Cheap shot at him. Yeah.
And then Damian Priest took out Gunther on the outside of the ring. Then that's when the Judgment Day took control.
Out both. Yeah.
And we found out by Adam Pearce that on Saturday night's main event, the World Heavyweight title is not just going to be Finn Balor against Gunther. It's going to be a triple threat match.
We're getting a three-way on Saturday night.
And with three-ways, there's always some DP. So,
we're
going to have Gunther defending his title against Damian Priest and Finn Balor, which throws a wrench in the equation to me because Gunther does not have to take the pin to lose the title here.
Right.
And I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I feel like Gunther's still going to win.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be more because Damian and Finn are just going to be so busy taking each other out that's how Gunther's going to pull it out on top of them.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, crazier things have happened. Maybe, I don't see Finn winning because he's still the tag team champion, but I guess if they want to put the belt back on Damian, they could, but I just don't see why going at this point going in the Royal Rumble and everything like that. And who knows what they got planned, but I thought it was a smart choice kind of because I kind of saw it coming with all that, with the pause with all three of them. So with the DP and with the coup de grace on the front and the back, like it's a lot going on with a three-way.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can all hold out. Don't bust too early.
Yeah.
This was the greatest Raw of the year.
Right.
I think I messaged you this when this happened. I was over the moon happy. The rest of Raw, they don't even have to take the rest of the year off from Raw because we had the Final Testament versus the Wyatt Sucks.
Yes.
And I was so over the moon happy with the result of this match that I can't even begin to put into words how much I popped when this match was over. First of all, because it just showcased to me how not on the same level with the Final Testament the Wyatt Sucks is.
Right.
The Final Testament are seasoned. They're technical. They're just professionals through and through. Karrion Kross, Authors of Pain, even the Miz in this situation.
They're well-rounded. Well-rounded, yes.
And the Wyatt Six just showed how inferior they are in the world of giants, in the land of the big dogs with this, because
their supernatural powers seem to be wearing off.
Is it because of the drones?
It may be. I mean, they may want to step in a room and try some remote viewing from that cave and find some better skill sets,
Yeah.
But God, did they take 10 minutes to get to the ring to do their photo opportunity again in the entrance ramp?
Their entrance is longer than the match is.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah. Boy, if somebody was to cut a promo on them,
no, it'd be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we got all the howdy crybabies online now.
Mm-hmm. And I heard people online like, "Oh, did you hear the pop the Wyatt Six got?" I don't know about you, but I didn't.
I didn't hear nothing.
I didn't. It sounded like that crowd was catching flies because they were. They weren't too alive. This match ended up. It was just a bunch of back and forth, kind of, just a jumbled mess, really. Uncle Howdy got the mandible claw on the Miz outside the ring and was choking him out, and we got the returning precious Paul Ellering, who threw the powder in the face.
Yes,
of
the return.
Uncle Howdy. Great old school heel manager tactic. And like you said, the supernatural powers of Uncle Howdy, but he can't survive a little bit of baby powder.
Yeah. Give me my baby powder. Yep.
Repeat after me. Where's my bitches? So, so ended up getting Karrion Kross hitting the finisher. 1, 2, 3 pins Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
And the Final Testament gets the victory. The greatest victory in Raw this year.
And the IWC goes into turmoil. The Uncle Howdy, Wyatt Sucks crybabies come out of the shadows, come out of the cave, crawl under the creep spots that they hide under, and whine and cry and then turn it into, oh, well, they were supposed to lose so they can come back stronger the next time. They're going to come back harder the next time. It's all part of the story.
It's part of this. It's all.
It was prophesized in the cave.
Yeah, if you look at the third QR code that they released in July, they talked about this, because if you look up, it said 1874352 on the wall, and if you decipher that, that says that they were going to have to lose this one. To shut up.
Yeah. First, you want them to come in and beat everybody and have all this supernatural power and be unstoppable and dominant, and now you're making excuses for them losing.
Yeah. And I think it just goes back to what we've said since day one. The Wyatt sucks. And that just is what it is. And I think at the end of the day, like we said, they took on American Made and beat American Made, and American Made haven't changed one bit. So mission failed. Like, they're just not it just doesn't make sense.
Nope. I just can't wait to see them get eliminated one by one out of the Royal Rumble too.
so good.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not in the Rumble. I'm just wishing one hand, shit in the other. CM Punk had a sit-down interview.
Jackie Redmond.
So good. Very good. And he was, it started off, she was like, I have a question I got to ask you. He says, if it's about the Blackhawks, I don't,
Yeah, he thought it was a hockey interview. Yeah.
Which is great. I love bringing in the professional sports when they had Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton, and CM Punk is a proponent of bringing up the NHL.
Yep, huge hockey fan, and Jackie Redmond is also a hockey analyst or commentator, or not commentator, journalist, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and we're hockey fans, we're sports fans as well, and shout out Nick Moraldo from the Pat McAfee show. Like, I fell out of hockey for a long time, and he had a show that's Hockey Talk, and that really springboarded me into being a big hockey fan again. So now I get all these references, and I get
So it's cool to see it tied in all together and blur the lines with all the sports.
And shout out Nick Moraldo again. But like what it was with this was, she asked about the favor, and he said he's keeping that one in his back pocket.
Yeah, it's personal. He didn't want to talk about it right then. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's cool that they're saying that it's personal, because it may not ever be revealed.
Right.
It will be, but they're saying it might not even be revealed on television. This might just be a personal favor he wants of him. But then they started talking about the whole Seth Rollins thing, and he was talking about how
it's funny that Seth has a problem with me. I don't quite understand it all, because I've moved on from it. I've grown. I've helped Seth out. Seth came to me and wanted me to help him and train him for free. Yeah.
And then he said Seth was on the list of about 10 people that were about to get fired.
Yep, and he shielded him.
I shielded him from getting fired. I was like, okay.
Good call. Good line drop. Yeah.
Good callback.
Yep.
And he also said that he's notorious from not ever backing down for a fight, and if you step up to him, he's going to punch you in the face. Shout out Cucamonga Kids.
Yep.
So this was just more gems from CM Punk. I mean, it doesn't have to be broken down. Everybody that's a CM Punk fan saw it, understands it. This is just what he does. He blurs the line of what's on TV and reality, and is what is on TV is reality. And
he plays into it, because everybody that hated him hated it even more. Because, of course, as CM Punk is, a little egotistical. You know what I'm saying? And the people that, are totally bought into that, they're like, yeah, it just proves their point even more.
CM Punk, the ultimate troll.
Exactly.
And
yes. And even Uncle Dave, Uncle Dave is coming through.
Yeah, I think
he's won him over. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Tony Khan might have left him on red, because Uncle Dave's had a few choice comments lately.
Yep.
So this is just a great sit-down promo. It pushes the narrative without having to have
them in the same ring
segment.
there. Yeah.
And it was very well done. Like I said, CM Punk is just constant with me with this blur in the lines. I really enjoyed it. Drew McIntyre then came and explained why he did what he did, and that's what we had talked about earlier on SmackDown about everything he saw while he was sitting at home and nursing his wounds and everything else. And that's why his explanation in this promo right here is why I truly think Drew's going to be going over to SmackDown. It's good to see him back, though. I'm as much as I can't stand him as a person, as a professional wrestler, I am a big fan of Drew McIntyre.
So you got Jay and then Sammy going back to SmackDown too, then maybe?
Yeah.
It would make sense to keep like all of Roman with them together if that's what they're truly going to be.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where they...
But then doesn't Netflix want Roman too?
I think
it's going to be interesting.
Stop the brand split thing and let people just jump over when they need to.
I agree. Yeah.
The hard brand split stuff is just so difficult because we've seen just with the Survivor Series things, people crossing over and doing this and doing that. And even beforehand, way back when you and I went to SmackDown, and even in the dark matches, they have Raw guys there and everything else. It's just... I don't think it's needed to have a full brand split right now.
It's not. And I understand why people they like the brand split and they like people on each brand and they play it that way. But if things were scripted, which they're not, but if they were, you would say that, with having the brand split, they're writing themselves in a corner.
Yes.
If it were scripted. Of course it's not, but
That's right. And anybody
just
can
better
just show
entertainment
up at any time.
Yeah.
So we had Liv Morgan face Dakota Kai as a warm-up match for Saturday night's main event.
Right.
Obviously, she's facing Iyo Sky at Saturday night's main event, and Dakota Kai is her stable partner. Obviously, Liv got the win because of the Pure Fusion Collective, which we haven't seen in their entirety in quite a while. Yeah. Seth Rollins came out to the ring, kind of having his rebuttal against CM Punk. And
acting like a whiny little bitch. He had a good rebuttal, though, and the crowd was popping for him. That is his neck of the woods, so to speak, out in that way of the country over there, though. So he always gets a big pop there. But
now, I was listening on Busted Open, and I tend to agree with them about how if this is going to be a serious feud they're trying to build up, I think Seth Rollins needs to drop some of the flary outfits. Right. I think he should dress more serious, and
that's what Dave
LaGreca said that.
Yeah, and I can see that because he came out wearing some crazy shit again. He was going in. Yeah.
It's hard for me to take him seriously when he's wearing like feathers and shit. Like
like a kerfluffle. I don't even know what the
Yeah, and then Sami Zayn came out and confronted him a little bit. Kind of cleared the air with what was going on between them, I guess.
And I thought, see, this is what I wanted your opinion on because for a second I thought he was like, okay, Sammy, we're good at, and then I thought he was gonna freaking super kick him or something, and then lay Sammy out. And that's what I'm thinking, like. How do you feel about CM Punk and Seth Rollins going forward as far as like just both being baby faces? Do you think they should keep it that way? Do you think one should turn more or less like the audience? Because the audience is so split on the two, which is not bad. They can do it, but would it be better going forward to have one or the other turn heel?
Yeah, I don't know what exactly they're going to do with that because I felt like they were trying to turn Seth more heel recently, but then they had his feud with Bronson Reed.
Right.
And then him coming out and confronting Punk. I don't know.
Chance, like for his thing, like he was getting all the chants, and then you'd get the CM Punk chants, and you'd get the boo, and then it would go back and forth. So maybe they're just going to play it back and forth like that. I don't, kind of like the Cena Rock thing. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it goes. I think ultimately they got to have Punk as the fan favorite. I think
Yeah, maybe this will be something that's part of like their story that evolves with one of them turning or double turning or something like that. Because I've seen like unofficial reports that that's what they want is they want Seth versus CM Punk at the first episode of Netflix Raw.
Okay.
Which seems pretty early, right? And you'd think they'd make us wait a little longer for like a PLE if we're going to get something special like that. But that could easily be like a bait match where we're just going to get like a quick finish and it's not going to be concluded. You know, it's just going to raise the bar and move on their rivalry and their animosity even more because Punk isn't even like taking Seth personal right now from what we had heard Punk talking about. Like he's moved on from Seth, right? Like he doesn't even care. He doesn't even understand why Seth's obsessed with him at this point. So Seth has to kind of make it personal or attack Punk or do something to make Punk get into it more, right?
Yeah, I feel like he's got to cost him something or
yeah,
because like we saw with the Drew feud, it's got to be made personal. But Punk can make it personal very quickly. You know, Punk can be the one to make it personal as well. So
yeah.
But that seems like what they're gonna. Well, I would also like, and we've talked about this at nauseum, so I'm not going to get into it. But we've also talked about. I think the end game should be Punk and Rollins at Mania. So maybe a slow burn of this is kind of just what's needed right now. Maybe not have them maybe face each other until then, or if it is, maybe just in the Rumble or something.
Yeah. And then where does that? Yeah. Sorry.
I like these mini feuds that they build going up to the Rumble and then seeing them play out actually in the Royal Rumble match. Like that's happened in the past. Like,
yes,
you know, Seth Rollins in the ring in the Rumble, 4 or 5 other guys. The next person comes out at CM Punk and they're staring each other down as Punk walks to the ring. And
I hate you. Yeah.
I am a visionary. I'm a revolutionary. Yeah, we'll see where it plays out. I don't think it would be Netflix. I don't know. I think that'd be too quick. I think they really need to let this kind of brew a little bit.
And I want to see them fight so bad and like have a good rivalry, but it's like at what cost too, right? I'm biased, right? Because I'm a Punk fan. So I want Punk winning the Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, and then I want him to win the title at WrestleMania. But if we get a good rivalry between the two, does that mean they cost each other their Royal Rumble shot? And then they go to WrestleMania and Seth costs like Punk like his WrestleMania moment and main event, and they just have a match and it's not even a main event match to settle their feud?
I don't like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think that. Oh boy, I'm going off in a million places because I was like, maybe they need to get the title on Seth, but how would they get the title on Seth? But then that would be to have Gunther lose it this Saturday to like Finn Balor, then have Seth beat Finn, so Gunther doesn't have to lose to Seth, and then work it to Punk and Seth. Oh boy, there's a lot of possibilities, but I would like to see it
settle it. You know, one could win the Royal Rumble, and they could settle or have a match at Elimination Chamber or something, or you know, like
or have Seth win the title at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yep. Like you said, or like we've said, there's rumors about titles changing hand at Saturday Night Main Event. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think there's going to be a title change at the first Netflix episode to kind of create some buzz around.
Yeah, I agree.
Whole thing.
Yeah, and I think Netflix would like that. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
too.
Agreed.
And people want to see that too. Tuning in, you're gonna get some new viewers definitely for that episode.
For sure.
And the way that they are, you know, promoting it with all the John Cena little run-ins and music and stuff for you know he's coming back for that episode. Like that's going to be the first one you're going to hear his music. He will probably start the show on honestly. Yeah.
It would be great to see him back. As much as I've been a John Cena hater my whole life, this last year is going to be kind of emotional because of how much he has been a pivotal part of the WWE for so many years. Lyra Valkyria advanced in the women's IC title tournament. She defeated Selena Vega and Ivy Nile. I think Lyra Valkyria should win this. I'm not going to touch on it too much. I'm just like we talked about
earlier. Yeah.
Then we had Rhea Ripley against Raquel and Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah, it was. I think for Raquel now, she's doing better. At least, like she's getting to show off her skills a little more than just be like Liv's bodyguard backup. She actually got to get in the ring and get dirty with Rhea. So good for her on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've talked to you about it before, and we've spoke about this before. I'm kind of over the Liv Rhea whole feud. I'm really starting to believe they're going to drag this out till WrestleMania. It's just too much, man. There's so much women's talent on Raw that's just kind of getting swept aside because of this ongoing feud. And then it's like, once Rhea Ripley wins, who's going to be her next threat at the title? Like, you know, why aren't we building up somebody in the women's division to be the next threat for Rhea once she's going to win the title back, right? There's no way that they're never going to let her win the title back.
She's got to win it back, yeah. But if, you know, Liv holds on to WrestleMania, that's going to be historic for her. That's a long time she's had the title. But I don't.
Close to a year.
Yeah, I don't quite know if that's actually, you know, as far as story goes, if that's the best thing though, because it's just kind of predictable at that point. If Rhea's just going to finally come take the title at that point, I think they need to get it off her and get it on Liv.
I think Rhea is going to win the title back from Liv on the first episode of Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, yeah.
But yeah, I think Rhea's going to defeat Liv on the first episode of Netflix, win the title, and then that's when we're going to get the return of the man. To come out and face to face with Rhea a little bit.
Okay.
It'd be a good place to bring Becky Lynch back and create a lot of buzz.
Definitely.
I think we can both agree at this point she's not going to AEW. Like,
no.
All those rumors got put to bed.
Yeah, there's no way in hell she's going. No. Especially with the state of AEW. I could see if it was, you know, if it was in another place right now and where it should be and could have been and was at one point, but to see how it's been going, I don't see the point in it. I don't see any, makes no sense whatsoever for her to go there.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I wanted to bring up quick that we didn't bring up before we go on Raw? I don't know why I skipped over it. The New Day coming out and explaining their heel tactics. This really sucks that I put this way late.
It's fine. I forgot. Yeah.
They were coming out from the back, and Xavier Woods grabbed the camera and followed Kofi Kingston out to the ring, and they were getting like Young Bucks type heat here. Acting even like the Young Bucks. And I have to say, this isn't the first time we've seen Xavier Woods' stellar camera work. He really knows how to work that camera and get all the good angles. So
that's true. Yeah, he's he makes them tapes, baby. They always end up somewhere. Yeah. But I was very impressed. I was very happy with the reception that the crowd gave them. It was, I was just impressed. I was happy for them because they did their job on the last episode to get over and put Big E down, really, honestly, about his neck. And the heat they got was great. Was really great. And it was actually, the audience was a lot louder than I thought they would be. And there was a lot more boos than I thought there would be. So, you know, congratulations to the New Day for being the scumbags that you are now. But I'm not mad at it.
So that was Raw. That was SmackDown. That was Raw. Saturday Night Main Event is coming up this weekend.
Yeah. We'll see what we got going on for that. Maybe we'll be live tweeting. Maybe we'll be around. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. There's, like I said, 4 matches that are announced for it so far.
Yep.
Boy, oh boy, why can't I remember the 4th one? We have
Kevin Owens,
Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. Do you just want to do quick predictions on it? I mean,
yeah, we might as well. I'm gonna say
Oh,
Kevin
no.
Owens.
No.
I want Kevin Owens to win, but Cody Rhodes is going to win because he's the golden boy at WWE, and he's pulling the strings. And WWE, and is way more real than any other of the sports. NFL, which is scripted and all that, but I think that they're going to script this one and make Cody Rhodes win, and it's a conspiracy, and
Ooh.
yeah.
Okay. The next match that got just announced that we had kind of skimmed over got announced on Raw. Sami Zayn goes 1-on-1 with Drew McIntyre.
Oh, that's true. And that is going to be Drew McIntyre laying Sami Zayn out.
Oh, you think he's going to hit him with a Claymore?
Oh, yeah. He's going to give him the Claymore.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be sad to see.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Drew McIntyre needs a strong win to come back. I think this feeds into what you and I were talking about with a bigger feud with Drew with Roman Reigns coming up.
Yep.
It makes all the sense in the world. Yeah, I really think that Drew McIntyre needs a win after that feud with CM Punk. Yeah. Liv Morgan defends her title against Iyo Sky, the mistress of the sky.
Yeah. Iyo Sky's been on a tear. She's been doing great. Like we said, she was the MVP of that Women's War Games Survivor Series match, but she's going to come up short against Liv Morgan.
Ooh.
Watch me.
Boy, Iyo Sky. She's been on a tear lately.
Yeah.
I think Liv Morgan's been on a little bit of a schneid.
Yeah.
Maybe that's going to play big into this match. Maybe Liv Morgan is kind of in her head a little bit. Is she worthy of being champion? It'd be great to see a new women's champion here at Saturday Night's Main Event.
Right.
But that's not going to happen. Liv Morgan's going to retain the title.
Ooh.
Pretty easily, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. We need to start having cards that I can predict her to lose again, because it's too predictable now what's going to happen.
Who's she going to get help from? Like, who's going to interfere on Iyo Sky?
Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah, of course. But, yeah, and Iyo will have her people there, too, of course, Damage Control, but it just won't be enough, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Pure Fusion Collective has put their face in it. Maybe they'll show
Yeah, that's
up
what I was thinking, yeah.
And finally, we have the triple threat,
Mm-hmm.
the three-way for the World Heavyweight Championship between Gunther, Finn Balor, and DP, Damian Priest.
Yeah. Der Ring General Gunther.
You think he's going to retain?
I do.
This is what I think is going to happen. I think that the triple threat factor is going to play into this, and just to be bold and different, I'm going to say Finn Balor is going to pin Damian Priest and win the World Heavyweight title. And this is going to lead to Gunther going and earning his spot for the main event at WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes for his title.
So you think Gunther would win the Royal Rumble? Or the
Elimination Chamber.
Okay. That would
so that would be that title match, Gunther against Cody Rhodes, and then we could have Seth and Punk on the other side.
Yep.
And this is the way like I said earlier, the avenue for Seth to get the title back on his waist to beat Finn Balor. So Finn Balor is going to pin Damian Priest and win the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday Night's Main Event.
Ooh. I like it. I wouldn't be mad if Finn Balor won. He deserves it. He didn't get his shine when he originally won the Universal title way back in the day against. And remember who it was against too? Seth Rollins. So how good would that be for Seth to come in and re-up that match?
Story writes itself.
That plays into it. So I can see where you're coming from. I'll be happy if that happens. Yeah, actually, that'd be cool. That'd be very cool. Yep. And people are talking to Seth versus Punk at Netflix. I don't know. Like I said, what would be the biggest thing we could get for a Netflix episode? And yeah, Seth and Punk would be huge, obviously, or something like that. But I think, with John Cena coming out, he's going to declare for like the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber and everything that he can. He's going to put everything in. I think we're going to get a face-to-face with CM Punk also declaring for the Royal Rumble and coming out. And I think we're going to get some John Cena, CM Punk, and possibly some other people in the ring at the same time. Face to face for Netflix for the first episode. I think that's where you get the numbers there and the pop and the
Here's another bold prediction for Saturday Night Main Event. Yeah. Somebody we haven't seen in a while is going to come out to confront that dastardly Kevin Owens post match. The Viper Randy Orton is going to come out and examine.
That's a good time. That's good timing. That's good timing. I like it. RKO back. Long Island.
Let's go.
Yeah, retro. Woo. Hell yeah. Can't wait.
Thanks for all the love. Thanks for all the support.
Yeah, we'll get some people's takes after Saturday Night Main Event and for the next episode maybe. And we'll talk about what everybody thought about it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We'll put out a tweet, maybe like you said, during live tweeting, and then afterwards, what their thoughts and what their predictions are moving forward. And I'd like to dive into those our next episode.
Yeah, Saturday night before main event or while it's going on or in between, maybe I'll go live on TikTok, see what's up with people. Maybe be live any other place if we can. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not promising anything, but possibly. We'll try again. Maybe we'll see what happens.
We'll be somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe Mikey FPW will pop up again, or some other special guest. You never know.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll interact with whoever's out there. So keep your ears open, people. If you want to be part of the Renaissance live, we might be able to make it happen for you. Break out that Sabian. Yeah. Yeah. So that was Raw, SmackDown, and our predictions for Saturday night main event retro, bringing it back from Long Island, New York. Ooh. Yeah, Ooh. New York, baby. New York's in the house.
Yeah. So that's all I got. That was WWE. Can't wait for more.
Yeah, can't wait for more, baby. WWE. Yeah. And we are, as they say, the Howard Stern of wrestling podcasts. Yeah. We're Ringside Renaissance. We'll be back next week to talk about Saturday Night Main Event, Raw, SmackDown, all that. Of course. That's the best co-host in the world. Pretty Deadly Jesse. Yeah. And I'm Chronic, a.k.a. Combat Joe. Yeah. And you've been listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.